Last week on Duel's Whitetail Frenzy, Team Aaron majorly extended his lead as Aaron harvested a great buck in Ohio and Nick Pahoundis harvested a doe. Field staffer Glenn Delgazo did, however, manage to get 30 points for Team Kenny, but it wasn't nearly enough as Team Aaron enters Week 5 leading little brother Team Kenny by a score of 457 to 267. This week, Kenny is looking to strike back as he has a very mature, crazy racked buck targeted in his home state of West Virginia. There is no shortage of brotherly love between Aaron and Kenny Davis. The Davis brothers were born and raised in the Appalachian Mountains of southern West Virginia and have fiercely competed with one another in every aspect of life. Season 4 of Whitetail Frenzy takes a drastic turn as each brother has hand-selected their own team of bow hunters. Team Kenny and Team Aaron will take you on a journey of highs and lows while competing for a grand prize of $20,000.
I look happy.
Yeah, you look happy.
Shoot, yeah, I'm happy. You know, drowning the sorrows a little bit. Yeah, I'm happy. It's week 5. Here we are, Whitetail Frenzy, Team AD. We just keep racking up the points.
We do keep racking up the points. At least this guy does. But you know what? Time for Team KD to make a comeback. I got a big buck showing up here in West Virginia. He's an old deer, maybe the oldest deer I've ever got on camera in my life in this state.
I'll agree.
Crazy horn buck. Travis Bays and I are headed to the stand. We're gonna see if we can get it done.
After a long summer of checking covert trail cameras, creating mineral sites with lethal addiction mineral attractant, and creating a food source with peanut addiction, Kenny has successfully patterned a beautiful West Virginia whitetail and is ready to hit the woods with his elite bow.
Got a pretty good wind. See, it's coming right back at me. It's early season here in West Virginia. It's literally 12:30 in the afternoon. We just got set up. It's in the upper 80s. It is hot today, but we're set up in an area where this creek bottom comes down. Up here on the ridge to my right, there's a lot of oak trees. The white oaks are starting to fall. And a lot of these deer, they're working down off these steep mountainsides down in this creek bottom. It's been really dry for about the past month or so. I think it's only rained about one day. And where all these hollows come down together, right out in front of us, the creek's holding water going up the hollow. It's pretty dry everywhere. We've been putting some peanut addiction out here in front of the stand, just kind of creating a staging area. These deer are coming here feeding in daylight hours before they head up here and feed on these white oaks and the acorns. Just a great area. It's wide open in here. Should be beautiful footage. Got a really big buck in here. We named him Crazy Grandpa. Probably the oldest buck we've ever got on camera in West Virginia. I'd say 7 years old. One side's really big with a drop tine. The other side's just messed up. Big mature deer. But a lot of bucks showing up on our covert trail camera. So we're gonna sit tight this evening. Hopefully these deer keep doing what they've been doing and we get some good activity in here this afternoon. Well, I told the deer to be here by 3:30 if they didn't listen. They're a little late. It is all over but the crying now. 7 hours in the stand today. That last 20 minutes, the floodgates open. This creek bottom flood of the deer. It's just not the one we wanted.
Whitetail Frenzy is brought to you by Duel Game Calls. Get real. Get Duel. Elite Archery, the world's most shootable bow. Covert scouting cameras. Size does matter. Slick Trick broadheads, the original all-steel broadhead. Warner Law Offices. Call 304-345-6789. Slash Arrows with integrated inset blades. Wild and wonderful West Virginia. Alps Outdoors. Exceed your expectations. This segment of Whitetail Frenzy is brought to you by Go Wild Camo. Lethal Addiction Mineral and Attractant. Camex Crossbows. Built like no other.
He didn't show up. Look, we don't have these things on the leash, but I'm
what a
telling
sure
you,
thing.
we had some good deer activity, and the buck we were after, he just didn't show up. But you know what? The season is young. It's early. We're only in our 5th week of competition.
You know what's interesting though?
What?
Is every day you say the season's young. Every day I go into my studio.
And you get a little older.
And I put a calendar on the wall. You know, I have it up there, and every day there's a little black X. And the more black X's I get, closer we are to win for Team AD.
So look, Travis had been filming for me all preseason. We had been going in, doing a lot of work together. He filmed for me this past hunt, but you know what? This deer's old. He's smart. I'm gonna try my luck solo filming. I'm gonna go to the stand by myself. It's the 2nd day hunting this deer. Tons of daylight pictures on the covert camera. See if I can close this gap a little bit and make this a ball game between me and Big Brother.
I just got set up in the stand. It's early bow season here in West Virginia. I'm pretty excited about this afternoon. We had a cool front come through. It's in the low 70s right now, which I know you aren't thinking that's not cold, but it's been in the upper 80s, 90, just about every day for the last week. It's been really dry. Hunting a creek bed here. It's my 2nd day in the stand. The first day we had some deer activity, but it was really late in the evening. Didn't see any good bucks. There's one buck in here in particular that is on my hit list. He's just a big gnarly old deer, messed up rack on his right side. Hopefully with this cool front, this came in, it'll get him on his feet early.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Blame it on Trav again. Go ahead. He's doing it. Every time something messes up, he's out there solo filming. I get a call, blames it on poor Travis.
No, every time I have Travis with me, I blame it on Travis.
And every time Travis is not with you, you blame it on Travis.
Well, the deer came to my right, and the camera arm was in the way. He was right under my stand. I could have smoked him, you know. But I know for sure, hey, if I'm patient, he's gonna walk right out in front of me. So out in front of the stand, I've been putting peanut addiction, creating a food source. These deer have been coming in, they've been hitting it all year. And when this deer goes past me, you know, I'm not too concerned because I know the trail comes right out in front of me. That deer's going to go right to the peanut addiction. But what does he do? He steps in the creek. And, you know, whether you're on film or not on film, you should be 100% by the book. Us, we're on film. If we do something just a little bit off, you guys are going to know. We have to be by the book 100%. This deer steps down in the creek, and I mean, it's literally like an inch deep. I know there's something in regulations, but not being able to shoot deer in water in West Virginia, so I am hesitant to take the shot.
Well, for one, I don't believe that for a minute, okay? What I believe really happened is buck fever got the best of you. You couldn't get your bow back. You got worried. Team AD kicking your rear end, and you couldn't get your bow back.
That is not it.
Okay, well, anyway, you should know the laws. Okay, know what's in the book, know what you can and what you can't do. It's a poor excuse.
That would have been perfectly legal, I guess.
Yes.
You know, I think the laws, they can't be swimming or something like that, but he was standing in a 2-inch stream. I could have stroked him. But hey, I'm like, you know what? He's gonna step back up on this bank. He's gonna go right to the peanut addiction. I'm gonna have a shot, but what does he do? He steps out of the creek and he turns and he walks away, and the gap between me and you stays the same.
This is the double back grunt call by Dual Game Calls. Just like all dual game calls, it's made right here in the United States, and it offers you dual chamber technology. It's imitating air passing through the nose and the throat of that animal, giving you the most anatomically correct sounding calls on the market. Now, I really like this call a lot. It offers 7 calls in one. You simply take this thing apart, it has a little O-ring, you just slide it to whatever call you want. It offers a mature grunt, a tending grunt, an adult buck, a young buck, a doe bleat, an estrus bleat, a fawn bleat. 7 calls all wrapped up in one. You put it back together, you're ready to go. Now, another very unique feature to this call is that it offers you different tones, 2 different tones. If you're wanting to reach out to that animal and call down range with a loud volume, you use this end of the call, you exhale, and it gives you a loud volume. Now, if that deer gets in close and you want the same exact tone but in a softer call, you simply flip the call around and you use this end and you inhale. Softer call, same exact.
This segment of Whitetail Frenzy is brought to you by Custom Bow Equipment, competition-inspired hunting sites. Peanut Addiction, the addiction is real. After a close encounter from his advanced takedown tree stand, there is a slight cool front moving into the mountain state of West Virginia, and Kenny is anxious to climb back into the stand with his elite bow.
I would typically say that's the perfect wind, but last time I was in the stand, that's the direction that buck came from. You know, this buck, he's just an old, gnarly buck. Went back and reviewed the footage last time. Looks like his left back hip is injured, probably injured last year. It's probably why the right side of his rack is messed up. But he's a really cool old deer. Close encounter last time, just no luck solo filming. He actually presented me a broadside shot at 23 yards. He stopped right here to my right at 12 yards, but I wasn't in position with the camera on where I could shoot here. This time, I'm gonna get the camera ready and I should be able to make that shot. I just was not prepared for a deer to come in from that direction. Wasn't expecting it at all. It just goes to show you, whitetail deer, man, no matter how well you have a pattern, you never know what they're gonna do. Always expect the unexpected. So today, it's a perfect day. It was cool again. We had another cool front come through yesterday. Brought a lot of rain with it yesterday evening and last night, and there's water everywhere. I mean, it rained all evening, all night, and most of this morning, so I'm really expecting the deer to be on their feet. Hopefully that big boy comes back in here today, and I can get the camera on and pull off the shot at the same time, because I'm solo filming again. See if we can get it done. Well, if that doesn't make a believer out of you, the peanut addiction works, nothing will. So we have 4 bucks right there in one spot. lot of people in West Virginia would have been happy with any of those deer, but I know what I got in here. I got a really old, messed up rack buck. And he's number one on my hit list. Yeah, baby. Boom! Last minute. Oh my goodness. We had very little camera light left. Holy cow. Solo film style. Right there, baby. He went down. The deer didn't go 30 yards. Went right to the top of that little point. Went down. Yeah, baby. Another one down right here in West Virginia. Home state. Oh, yeah, let's see.
This segment of Whitetail Frenzy is brought to you by Custard Stand, the world's finest ready-to-eat hot dog chili. Close grip bow handle. Decap turkey broadhead. Scott Releases, the #1 name in the release game. Lynch Mob Game Calls. Call your game.
He is down for the count. So I'm gonna get my stuff, I'm gonna climb down, go over here and get our hands on this big West Virginia stud, crazy rack, mature West Virginia whitetail. Getting it done right here on Whitetail Frenzy. Yes. I am pumped. #1 on my hit list, at least in this area. And put him down today. Hopefully he doesn't get up and run on me. I look back at the shot again. I thought I hit a little bit low, but after playing in slow motion there, I think heck, it hit pretty good. Looked like it probably took out his heart. Holy cow, I can't quit looking at this deer. Maybe the coolest buck I've ever killed in my life. He's even got a drop tine over here on this side. You know, I'm here in my home state of West Virginia, and this may be the oldest buck I've ever killed in my life. He's easy 6+ years old, probably the biggest body deer I've ever killed here in West Virginia. Absolute giant body wise. And this deer won't score a whole lot, but I started getting pictures of this deer. I knew he was mature, and I set my mind on this deer, focused on this deer, and closed the deal. And I did it solo cam style. Got it on film by myself. That's always a challenge. But another one down right here in my home state of West Virginia. What an exciting evening. Thank God for another opportunity to get out here and enjoy this. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this hunt. Stay tuned and keep watching for some more exciting hunts right here on Whitetail Frenzy.
After striking back in his home state of West Virginia and harvesting a mature buck with a gross score of 119 inches and receiving 10 bonus points for a solo cam film, Team Kenny is awarded 129 total points. Although significantly closing the gap, Team Aaron continues to lead for the 5th straight week by a score of 457 to 396 over Team Kenny.
Yeah, I'd be scratching my head too, pal.
Well, here's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how to hold mature deer like that. You know, here in our home state of West Virginia, they're tough to hunt when they get that 3, 4, 5 range, much less 6, 7, 8 where this deer could possibly be. How in the world did somebody like KD beat you?
Come on. His back teeth, they were basically gone. I mean, this was an old, mature deer. Sure, he had a messed up rack. He's not going to score a lot. But I focused on that deer. He was #1 on my hit list early season here in West Virginia, and I closed the deal. You know, when I saw that igniter lighted knock hit that deer and he ran up on the ridge, I could see that knock glow and that deer go down. I was super pumped because I put a lot of time into this deer, not necessarily the 3 days in the stand, but all the time preseason trying to locate this deer and pattern this deer.
Regardless, like I said, the competition between you and I, the true competition is between the big mature deers that we find and the ones that we try to hunt.
Do you hear how his tone changes a little bit when we close the gap and we're in striking range? He knows what's coming.
See, I try. I
knows
try to give you a little bit, boost you up. When you pat them boys on the butt, say, "Good job, good job." You're almost there, and then you take it away from them.
What is this? 5th week?
It's 5th week.
Here's what I gotta say. I got some more big bucks lined up. I got my boy Isaiah, 13 years old, been out doing some scout with me. I'm taking him out next week with the Camex crossbow. Week 5 will be the last week the Team AD has the lead. See, listen to him laughing.
Oh, goodness. Oh, good.
Next week, the rivalry between brothers heats up as Kenny Davis looks to take the lead as he and his son Isaiah have a targeted early season whitetail in their home state of West Virginia. Then D. Cowger, aka Chili Man from Custard Stand Hot Dog Chili, tries to add additional points for Team Kenny.
Many hunters.
Sorry, dude, that was me.
Really?
Who else is it going to be?
Travis Bain.
Who
That's
else is
Travis
going to
Bain.
be? It's not my phone in my pocket. I don't know whose that is.
Closed captioning provided by LeeCast.com, the official voiceover of Whitetail Frenzy.